Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Casty TV here, and ooh boy, it's almost 2021, and this year went by very fast. As you guys already know, or for some of you who are new here to the Casty TV channel, I've covered a top 10 MMOs back in the summer. You'll see that in the card in the top right. That video did exceptionally well, and so today's video is a more updated list of MMORPGs to keep you entertained going into the new year. With that being said, welcome to all my new viewers to the KSDTV world as I cover MMOs, RPGs, and any games through the first impressions, news videos, and guides as well. If that's something you like and a fresh new take on your favorite and newer titles in those genres, then hit the like and subscribe button to come on the journey into 2021 with the Outcast family. And with that being said, let's hop into the video. Starting off at number 10, we have RuneScape 3. The more modernized, updated version of old school RuneScape. This game was an absolute failure due to attempting to strip away the core values of the original RuneScape, and the player base tanked harder than you getting bodied by a chicken on Legend of Zelda. After years of its releases and constant updates, the game's license has moved over to Steam, and players were able to play the game even on Steam, and that's what made me get back into the game. Even though most veteran players would trash this new modern RuneScape, but I see some true value or potential in the game. During my initial playthrough, the game was essentially far easier than playing the original, due to the game being more casual friendly instead of its hardcore ways back in 2008. This is a good title to pick up on your Steam library if you're looking for a new addition to your catalog of games to play in the MMO world. And the graphics look a little bit decent, a little bit more dated than the original, and the combat is still turn-based-ish, and it's still free to play, even being on Steam, so that's good. Next on our list, we have Crowfall. Now, I've had my fair share of playtime in this interesting take on the MMO genre, so Crowfall devs placed their game under a paywall, with multiple different one-time purchases, with each payment having different bonuses and such. The game is centered around a core feature called Throne Wars, which every 30 or so days the servers go live and the characters you made are wiped clean and you start anew. You can make so many different builds consisting of class and races. Each one of these will play a different role in the universe of Crowfall, and your actions in battle will change the course of the game. It excels most in the other feature of the game called Guild vs. Guild battles, and it has a good campaign to take you from level 1 to level 20, and then once you get to level 20 you are able to access the guild fights. You can never go wrong with finally hopping back into Guild Wars 2. With plenty of content to battle through and new expansions have been released, and the game's newest expansion is called The End of Dragons. That should be releasing sometime in 2021, so this is plenty of time to finally hop into the Guild Wars 2 and burn through the first two expansions, Path of Fire and Heart of Thrones. As of November 2020, Guild Wars 2 was released on Steam as well. Whether you're starting from Steam or the client downloaded from the website, Guild Wars 2 is a good pickup to play right now in 2020 and even going into 2021. So next we have Mabinogi. This is essentially a free-to-play fantasy MMORPG developed by DevCat and published by Nexon. You guys remember Nexon? That's a long story in itself. It features a dynamic combat system, dungeons, crafting, pets, unique skills, spirit weapons, and music creation system, and much more. The features go like this. There is real-time combat, so you can engage in real-time combat with combo attacks, defensive skills, and counter-attacking and special moves. There is a private dungeon system, which basically you utilize special items to create your own dungeon with progressive levels of difficulty. There is a fairly unique skill system, which you can gain a sword, bow, magic, and many other kinds of skills by learning and training in them. And for all my fans out there, you get cute pets. You can obtain certain pets to fight at your side, or you can carry your stuff as your own inventory. You also get spirit weapons, which you can build your own spirit weapon, level it up, and you can use it in battle. There's a comprehensive crafting, which you create, customize, and sell your own items in Mabinogi's production system. and you can compose music and play a variety of instruments. Next, we have anyone who's been around the Chaos Realm long enough should know I'm an avid fan of Albion Online, ever since I covered the game as a first impression months ago. Since then, the game had a rocky year this year, but then it was saved when the corrupted dungeons were introduced to the game. It added more content to the endgame and even made it competitive and casual friendly, but there were some hiccups with this update, especially the reward system. Now, essentially, Albion Online will feed your needs for a player-driven economy and a sandbox MMORPG to explore to your heart's content. And the fact your character doesn't have a set class and you can create your own class by mixing classes like rogue, a tank, and a mage, and much more. There's many combinations to choose from. After it finally was released to PC, it probably was the worst day for this amazing game. The Microsoft client massacred my boy. Players couldn't even log into the game. Everything went wrong. The Fire Nation attacked. It was just all bad. But Steam said it's okay and we can be the avatar. And let's save the day for Phantasy Star Online 2. This MMORPG has a concurrent player base of over 18,000 players and an average of 12,000 players daily. Episode 6 will be releasing on the 9th of December. By the time of this video being recorded, which you will go beyond the new story content. Episode 6 will include Phantom and Etoil classes to check out, and the level cap is being raised to level 95. All of the episode 6 content that releases on December 9th is for free, and the story picks up after the alternate dimension Omega was able to get rid of the gigantic black hole. The victory doesn't last long as the Arcs find a new foe in the form of the goddess of annihilation, Shiva, who declares war upon the entire universe. It's now up to players to go up against her fleets of spaceships in what Saga is calling the most massive battle in the history of Arcs. Final Fantasy XIV is the perfect time to play the game, or to come back to the game due to one of its biggest patches that is coming to the game on December 8th. Final Fantasy XIV saw an end to the story of Shadowbringers in the form of patch 5.3, so in patch 5.4, Square Enix typical format wraps up an expansion story with updates following launch, leaving future free patches to pave the way for the game's next paid edition. The update next Tuesday will continue the Warrior Light's tale with some interesting new revelations and insight into where the game will take the players next. Sadly for newer players, the game is behind a paywall and is not free, but there is a vastly large free trial to take you through most of the game's campaign. Now, if you want a decent dungeon crawler similar to the likes of Critica Reboot, then SoulWorker is right up your alley. You get plenty of characters to choose from that have their own background behind them, their own abilities and skill sets. Just like Critica, you essentially go through many different instances like dungeons and clear them out. Get to the final boss of the area, rinse and repeat, while you come back to your main hub world to upgrade your character and much more. The visuals looks amazing and you can get lost running through so many dungeons for hours. Now this one is a personal favorite on this current list and was my very first MMORPG I've ever played growing up back in 2008, and it's Old School RuneScape. This is one of the true founders of the MMORPG genre and kind of the one that paid for it along with World of Warcraft. Old School RuneScape is truly remarkable even though it lacks in graphics, but it makes up for pure core values like music, PvP, and PvE, and much more. Players still refer to this version over RuneScape 3, which I mentioned earlier in the list. It doesn't have a Steam release, but you can still find it in its glory on the Old School RuneScape website. The devs still give the game continuous updates and players still can't stop playing even though the game is very outdated. And we made it to the last of the list, and it's, you guessed it, World of Warcraft. If you didn't guess it, well, shame on you because this is an awesome game. And for the simple fact of you have a brand new expansion called Shadowlands and you can play classic World of Warcraft, for which you all who don't know what Classic WoW is, it's basically the true original way of playing World of Warcraft when it first ever came out. So, enjoy the difficulty. Shadowlands dropped last month and it brought in a heck ton of new players and old players alike. And that wraps up my last 10 MMORPGs list for the year. I hope you guys enjoyed it and have an amazing holiday playing your favorite MMOs into the new year. If you guys enjoyed the video, then please hit that like button and share this video to your friends who needs new MMORPGs to play. And definitely if you enjoyed me today, and want so much more content for you to binge to, then hit that subscribe button. And as always, until next time, my outcasts, it's been your boy, KSDTV, signing out. Peace.
I don't wanna break down, I've been losing faith now. I've been in my mind, getting used to the pain now. No one else to blame, did this all on my own. I don't think I'll change this.